Hello, good evening, and welcome to the FB4 Daily for this Friday night. It's Gav here, and I have Seany and I have KEITA, and this show is brought to you by Paddy Power. A bookie's a website and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly, and remember to do so with Paddy Power. Tonight we're going to have a look forward to the West Ham game on Monday night. We're going to have a look at the fixture changes that have come around today with regards to games in April. And listen, anything else Seany and anything else KEITA wants to speak about as well, and most importantly, anything you want to speak about. Random stuff is extremely important tonight because these two lads are fucking brilliant at it. So if you don't have good random stuff tonight, I'm just going to shut the podcast down and literally go on the cans from now till May, and that's a promise. That's it. Let's go. And here we go. Seany and KEITA are with me, as I've already said. And lads, we have to wait until Monday for this West Ham game. Seany, in the aftermath of the Atletico game, we have an injury to Jordan Henderson. It looks like KLOPP has said he'd be out for about 3 weeks and described that as lucky. How big of a loss will he be?
Massive. Obviously, his influence on the team had been massively stated. Since Fabinho went out, we all thought that we'd miss Fabinho, and Henderson just came in like a glove, and he's at the shoehorning himself into a position where many are speaking about him as the PFA Player of the Year. But it's a big miss, but thankfully we have Fabinho back now, and he could just go back into that role where he was considered probably the best defensive midfielder in the world before he got injured. So hopefully we won't miss Henderson too much. Okay. In the 3 weeks that you'll be off. And when you look at the fixtures, they're all games we should win, and obviously there's the odd chance he might be back for the second leg, so let's just see how it goes.
I haven't looked at the fixtures that he's going to miss. I know he'll miss obviously West Ham, he'll miss, we're away to Watford, Bournemouth. Yeah, so there are 3 league games anyway that you'd look at and say not too bad. KEITA, when it comes down to it, and we look forward to the West Ham game, but this is a chance now for certain midfielders to step up or stake a claim. What I mean by that is Naby Keita is back. He's fit at the moment, and please God, everything crossed, he will be fine on that score. But when you look at that, you look at Alex. What am I trying to say? Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has played up front for the last couple of games. It looks like he'll drop back into midfield now with Mane and Salah and Firmino all being okay. You have James Milner that was out for a period and will be looking to come back in. You have Minamino that may throw himself into the mix there. It is a big chance, isn't it, for someone to stand up, a bit like Jordan Henderson stood up and was counted, even more so than he was having a good season in my book, but he really stood up with the Fabinho injury. It's a chance for someone to replicate that again, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you listed them there. It's a position that we do have a lot of strength and depth in. Now, he will be a big loss. I agree with Seany, but I think that is all dependent on if they can get him back for the second leg against Atletico. And look, even if they can't, we should have enough players there that can step up and do a job. But it just goes to show the importance that he does have to the team. He's a very divisive player, and it does your head in. That some can appreciate him and some can't, but he is vital to the way we've been playing, and the fixtures we do have coming up we should be able to navigate without Henderson in them. But as I said, getting back for that second leg will be key if we can do that. But I wouldn't rush him either. I wouldn't risk him, you know what I mean? I'd like to see him, without rushing too far ahead, I'd like to see him on the pitch when we're winning the league. Do you know what I mean? So I think don't take any risks with him.
Okay. Seany, with those names that are being listed there, and we're talking about players to come in and step into the void left by Jordan Henderson, the one thing that sticks out to me is, we've quality there, don't get me wrong. You have KEITA, you have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, you have James Milner, you might throw Lallana in there for a look, you may throw Minamino in there for a look. I'm not too sure what way you go with it, but the one thing I look at in all those players is, maybe the option is to move Wijnaldum over to where Henderson will play and put someone in on that left-hand side, because Henderson plays a massive role in the way Trent and Salah operate in a game, and I'm not too sure any of them players fit the the requirements, discipline-wise.
Milner at a push, maybe.
Discipline-wise, well, Milner would have pushed you, but discipline-wise and the engine to get up and down, Seany, what way would you go with it?
I know what you're saying. I do, because the Henderson's mobility allows Salah and Trent to cheat, so to speak. You know what I mean? He does. That's the type of job that he does in there. But even for the last few weeks, he hasn't really been playing on that right hand side. He would probably be in the deepest of our midfielders. So you just feel that the natural replacement would be for Fabinho to just slot back in there where he went, and then we can alternate between the 3 or 4 players that are fit there to play, depending on the game. Like I'm a fair believer in horses for courses, Gav. I don't think that you should look at a team and say, well, what's their strongest 11? I think each game, like, you could look at like the likes of say Bournemouth at home. You'll have to be looking at the likes of KEITA and Ox in there to be giving you a little bit more attack and guile, you know what I mean? So it depends on the game. If Henderson was to miss any of the big games, then you feel that the natural replacement to be in would be to put Mr. Reliable Milner in there, because he will do the legwork of Henderson in those big games where you require discipline and to free up the likes of Trent and Salah. So it really does all depend on the game, Gav. Like I said, I'm a firm believer that it's horses for courses. You don't need to be thinking, well, what's our best 11? We have the play, we have the bodies there in the midfield to see through any extended period of time, any of the midfielders being out.
It's an interesting point that Seany makes, Keith, is that we do have the bodies there that can come in and fit wherever we need them to fit. Has it fallen, like, no one wants to see Henderson injured, or any player for that matter, but has it fallen at a nice little time? Maybe the timing is slightly off, but it's fallen at a decent time where when you look at the next 3 or 4 league games, where we will have, I know we have the majority of the ball in most games, but we'll have the majority of the ball, the majority of position on the pitch. It'll be
I know what you mean.
A lot of teams are camped in, so you're not looking for a Henderson to be up and down the pitch. It's more of a control game where Salah literally goes up front and someone just fills in that gap, and it isn't a massive role for them to play. Has it fallen at a nice time?
It has, and the type of injury as well. If they're saying it's a 3-week injury, that's okay. You can deal with that. As Seany said, these games coming up are winnable games, and with the squad we have, every time we've had an injury this season, the next taxi off the rank has stepped up and has done the job. There's been no problems, and I think it'll be the same here. I mean, the likes of, if we're playing West Ham at home, look, who's going to have a problem seeing KEITA getting minutes there and being more of an attacking threat maybe than what we're used to? If it's going to be maybe Minamino gets a few minutes, you know what I mean? And these are the games that you wouldn't mind seeing them. West Ham and Bournemouth and Watford away might be a bit tough, but Bournemouth at home and West Ham at home, you wouldn't mind seeing Minamino getting a run out and seeing if he can do anything in those games. So yeah, it has come at a decent enough time. It's not like we're short of midfield options and we're looking at Curtis Jones or Pedro Chirivella to come in. Yeah. And even if they did, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, you don't mind. You don't mind. Tyler Smith said, I just want to get this in here before I go to sleep. He's in work in the morning or something, or he's probably in Australia. He's miles ahead of us. But sick and tired of people giving Kate the stick. I don't think he deserves too much stick. I think he's a really top quality player. Like Tyler says, follows that up with a fantastic player, needs a run of games. Yes, he's been injured, but come on, a quality player. I absolutely agree with you 100%. More than 100% if possible. He's quality. You can see his quality. He's different to, I would say, any midfielder we have, and people liken them to Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain is a bit more physical, more direct, whereas he's very, very cute in what he does. KEITA, he's a fantastic footballer. More
guile to KEITA.
Yes, there's a bit more guile, and I could see him being perfect in games where we are dominating possession and dominating, the way the game is going, and we're in control. But the only thing I would throw him is the injury record, and I've always been sympathetic on that, and I doubled down on that when he got injured, playing with his national team when they were playing him when he was clearly wasn't fit. Ben Webb said he would absolutely love Naby to get a run of form. I would listen. we go and win the title and Naby Keita plays the last 12 league games and we go, wow, what a player. Absolutely fine. Wrap him up in cotton wool, put him under your fucking bed, wherever you want to, until the next season, and so nothing can happen to him. Absolutely fine. I think anybody giving Naby Keita stick is... It's probably more frustration than actually looking at his ability.
That's exactly it. It's the nature of the injuries are always very frustrating. He gets injured in the warm up when he gets a chance against Sheffield United, wasn't it? It's those little things.
Yeah, no, it is that, and the thing is, I say this about all Liverpool players, whether it's Naby Keita, Jordan Henderson, Salah, Van Dijk, the goalkeeper, anybody, you want them all fit, you want them all playing well. That's the fucking whole enterprise of this. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of stuff going in about Leicester and Man City. I'm going to touch on a few of the games over the weekend before we finish this. But look, moving on to the West Ham game, we face West Ham, who are quite honestly brutal. They're terrible. Seany, I'll come to you first, right? And I love the way you love the concept of building a team, building a squad, building an infrastructure, a club. Like, I know you're watching videos of Kirby on a loop, right? Because that's the way you are, right? No, but that's the way you are. You're really interested in how clubs are built, how stable they are,
infrastructure.
Yeah, the whole stuff. I know you're mad into that. I know. I don't watch all that stuff. I don't fucking train this, so I don't care. But it's a great thing for the club. But when I look at West Ham, and I seen something earlier about them, and it was basically they need to stay up because of the stadium they have, the outlay of money they have, and stuff like that. And I thought of a question straight away for you, and I went, why appoint this manager if you're trying to stabilise a club, keep them in the Premier League, and look to move forward? Because to me, he's anti-progression at this stage.
Yeah, to be honest, even when the appointment was made, I couldn't make head nor tail of it. I understand Moyes is heavily revered for the job that he did at Everton, and to be fair, he did for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. He made Everton really stable, and they were always fighting there or thereabouts for that fourth or fifth spot. Mm-hmm. But I can't for the life of me understand why they've brought them two dildo merchants have brought fucking Moyes in there. It's just complete. It shows to the fans a complete lack of ambition, to the players who are already in the squad. Like, there's no direction at all. If you look at the bottom of the league, you look at Norwich there, who we played last week. There's a style of play, right? It doesn't always work out, but look, they go out and they play that way regardless. Watford have brought in Pearson, who has galvanised the team and has actually made them difficult to beat. They're having a manager bounce there. So there's a couple of teams bouncing around at the bottom there, and it just looks like West Ham are completely rudderless. Rudderless. There's no style of play. There's no direction. Like, it doesn't even look like that they're not fighting together. Even at the bottom, if you can get the whole team pulling in the same direction, you'll get results. But they look dead. They look dead in their feet. And I really feel sorry for West Ham, because if you remember years ago, you were going to Upton Park away. It was a fucking horrible place to go. Even when you were watching the game there, the crowd on top of you, the place is raucous. Like, they had some really good players down the years, but you look at now, they were sold the dream at the Olympic Stadium. Oh, look, we want to be a consistent Europa League side. They haven't invested. They're just poor decision after poor decision, and I think this will be the year that you see them drop down to the Championship like a stone. And then who knows what's going to happen after that, because they will have money trouble when they drop.
Well, there's parachute payments that total about 120 million, but that very rarely. I'm not saying it doesn't have an impact, but it very rarely is a parachute for a club. It's basically they hit the ground, they hit the bottom, the money comes in over 2 seasons, I think it is, and it's basically used to pay the wages of players that probably aren't at the club, but you're still paying them while they're playing for somebody else. But Keith, Seany makes reference to other clubs there, and the Watford one is interesting because I don't know how. I think Nigel Pearson's first game was away to us, right? Yeah. And I think Moyes' first game might be in home to Bournemouth. I don't know how far apart they were. But the interesting comparison for me is that if you look at Nigel Pearson, who's a bit of an arsehole, to be honest with you, right? But when you look at him, like Seany says, he's nailed it. He's galvanised them, because when you actually watch Watford now, right, he's making them tough to beat as much as he possibly can, right? He has midfielders that are trying to be aggressive, forward thinking. When you think of the Corey, I think has got a couple of goals from.
Yeah.
Capui has turned around well. Will Hughes has done well, and then he's really looking to the strength up top in LFCFAMILY, and trying to get Andre Gray going. But he's trying to use them in their best positions and trying to get them to do the things that they're really good at. And then when you go and look at West Ham,
it's a stark contrast.
It's night and day. They had this fella up front, Haller, and people were raving about him. He gets the ball into his feet. He links play really well. He gets in behind the fence well. He's a good finisher. And you're watching him now, and he's about 40 yards away from his own teammates. You've a midfield there that looks slow and cumbersome, and probably that suits Moyes because he doesn't want them to go forward. You have attacking players that are being asked to be basically play as nearly wing backs because he's got that defensive. Can you see a way out for them? Looking forward to this game. I know they played City, but I don't think the fixtures are too kind to him coming towards the end of the season either. Can you see any way out of this for them if he persists in what he's trying to do?
No, I can't. It's toxic around there now. The fans all hate them. Do you know what I mean? They hate the team. They hate Moyes. They turned on Moyes because he gave a big galvanise and shout. You know what I mean? And they have got. Everyone thought that was going to be a bit of a coup. Doesn't get a sniff. The Felipe Anderson there, they've got these players, but they're just not. You used Watford as a comparison, and it is a good comparison. They came in. Nigel Pearson, I thought he was a bit of a muppet as well. I thought, what sort of appointment is this? Didn't see the turnaround that he could get out of them. But he's done it. He's got the crowd are all, backing them. There's a not a feel good atmosphere there, but they've all got on board with what he was trying to do. West Ham, it's just the opposite. What Seany said there.
There's at least a siege mentality, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to create that to give yourself a chance, but Moyes is just it just stinks of no ambition. And to be honest, I'm not going to say I feel sorry for Moyes because he was there before, so he knew exactly what he was going into.
Maverick says there that Pearson would have been a better than Moyes for West Ham because they needed some, discipline in the side. He says that if they go down, they're in serious trouble of going into the wilderness because of the stadium and the money and stuff like that. And he reckons that there's a problem in the boardroom there. He doesn't think that the two boys are talking to each other. There might be a fight for control there. I don't know. They might be fighting it might be like a hot potato come the end of the season because neither of them want it. Maverick also follows it up with Haller is on a different level to West Ham teammates, wrong club to have joined. I was really impressed with him. When I seen him the first couple of times for West Ham, they were attacking, they were getting it to him, and he was scoring goals. And now it's like he's literally playing 40 yards away from his mates. It's one of those. Kieran says, "Good evening, Kieran. How are you?" Avo would.
But Haller was being talked up for the French team and all, wasn't he? He was like, this fella could be, he's on
last year.
Plus of it, and he's just doing nothing. You know what I mean? Not his fault. It's the team. It's everything about him. It's just dreadful.
Yeah. Well, look, we go into this game. It's on Monday night, and having to wait until Monday is a bit of a pain in the arse. Let's be honest about it. I don't mind it. If we're going to play Monday, we should throw a game in on a Friday to keep us going. That's the way I look at it. But Seany, we approach this one. We could have a really clear picture come Monday because Leicester play City, and we'll get to that later. But as things stand, we're down to 5 games to win the title. And when you look at it, like you said earlier, you have got our next 3 are West Ham, Watford, Bournemouth, and you'd be looking going, they'll be absolutely fine. I think the one after that then is Everton away, isn't it? And that's where people are targeting. Then Palace is obviously the 5th one. But going into this one on a Monday night, it's a long old travel up for West Ham on a Monday. Liverpool, night game at Anfield, 5 from the title. Overall, you can't see anything other than a Liverpool win, can you?
No, especially with the result of midweek, you could see that
I didn't see that game. So.
There was players looked like they were annoyed, snarky, like they felt hard done by about how the
Sorry, I
game
thought you were talking about the City West Ham game. I did see that game. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, how the game went in Madrid. So I'd respect the response. And at least there even might be a few changes, you don't know that, but I just respect it. I respect the response right there Monday night in Anfield. Like you said, 5 to go, let's keep going and just tick them off. I can see Monday night I'll hopefully give these a Rodgering because someone is on the end and wants it very, very soon.
Yeah,
I get that feeling as well. Although I did say it'd be Atletico Madrid, and Seany and others laughed at me, and I had to take the abuse for it wasn't too bad, actually. It wasn't too bad. I think we're
because look, you're not one of these fucking agents who's incapable of saying, look, I was wrong.
Do you know what I mean?
So
way off.
Once you're not like that, well, then you're not going to take too much flack.
No, I was absolutely way off. But like the way I look at it is, and somebody else said it there, go and deal with the game. You just take them out 3-0. You just take them out 3-0 and you walk away. And listen, it's one of those, Keith, isn't it, where, and you see it loads of times, where clubs who are struggling, they are really struggling, but when they get 1-0 down, and Benitez used to do this when he was struggling at Newcastle, he go 2-0 down and he nearly settle on a 2-0 because goal difference would be in his head. Could it be one of those where 2-0 at half time and everyone shakes hands and says, look, just don't batter us, we'd have to find our way somewhere else?
I'd say their game plan is to get out with a 2-0 defeat. I'd say that's, if they can get out there with a 2-0, they'd be delighted. But I think, I think there could be a bit of an arse whipping coming to someone, and I think it could be days Monday night. As I say, on the back of the Atletico game, let's be honest, we got beaten. It's the world isn't coming to an end or that. We lost the game, but the focus will be on all of the players now. Whoever's in that team, it'll be on them to put in that extra 10%. I can't see them taking West Ham for granted. Right, they're shite. They're coming in on a horrendous run, but I can't see us taking them for granted. I think we'll go in and deal with them. I think it'll be a comfortable 3-4-0. What we reckon.
Seany, West Ham are going to come to Anfield and they're going to do what a lot of teams have done, and they see this as their way home. And it's not their way home, and playing 2 left backs, right? And I don't know why teams keep doing it. And I'm waiting for Julian Dix to start for West Ham at the fucking on Monday night, because I think that's how people are going about this. It doesn't work, but you feel it works, and it might work to a point where we won't get bashed 3 or 4 here, lads. But I caught West Ham against Brighton a couple of weeks ago. I think it was an extended highlights on Sky or whatever. And they were atrocious, and they scored a couple of goals off deflections with Snodgrass, who's a good technical footballer. Lanzini just looked lost because he was like, I'm up here, lads, and nobody's up here, and most importantly, the ball's not up here. And he conceded 3 poor goals on top of that. They're going to come out, Seany, and they're going to play. They're going to go 4-5-1, but they're 2 wide men in the 5 are literally going to sit back as fullbacks. We have enough to break them down, don't we? And the return of KEITA and the front 3 looking to put the midweek performance to bed. We have more than enough to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. See, Gav, for me, football it's not sound cliche. It's a simple game, and normally you get dragged into a rut with teams like this, and you bring it down to that level. Like Norwich last week, they walked their fucking socks off. And then normally you get that. We've got that a lot this year, where teams have literally walked their socks off, and you're thinking to yourself, these will be dead last 20, 25, and then we just blitz teams. But they don't even look like they have to go for it. They don't look like they have to go. We will outrun them. We will outwalk them. We will outpass them. We're a better football team, and we work harder, and we will beat them because of that. And if we are clinical, it'll be a heavy one for them. And I whatever about containing us 2-2-0, I don't think they'll have much of a choice.
And staying with you, Seany, is that the big thing for you? Coming out with an attacking intent, an intensity to the game where we are going to move it fast. We're going to be, if we ever lose the ball, we're going to be on you all the time. We're not going to give it a way out. It's going to be hacked up the pitch, and Van Dijk's literally going to give it to Fabinho, and we're going to start again. And as much as you walk your socks off, we're going to break you. And when we break you, and you look and there's still 30 minutes left, you're going to want the ground to swallow you up.
Gav, in a way, like, I think ever since Klopp come in, there's been transformations and little clicks every season to something that changed. We're not even that run and gun football team anymore. We're the methodical, we'll just grind you down, ruthlessness, doing the same things all the time. It's like the play is methodical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like you said, you want to pop the ball back out into midfield, right? We're just going to mop up every single second ball. We're not going to give you a second to breathe. We're going to hit the fullbacks. It's going to go inside. We have runners everywhere. Like, we are a nightmare to deal with now. We're like the Pep team that done 100 points. That's what I used to love about them. It was the methodical stuff. It was Raheem Sterling scoring 15 tap ins at the back post every time, just because we were just drilling the same attacking movements for the whole game. And that's what we do, Gav. And if you don't defend, if you make one mistake, we're going to punish you. And that's why it's 25 games with one draw.
Yeah, it's
even when we
it's
don't
incessant, isn't it? It's one of those where we will not stop. Curtis said, keep up the good stuff, good work, lads. More people need to get onto the LFC Day Trip as well. If you share it on Twitter and you share it on Periscope and you share it on YouTube and all around the place, more people will, and it's absolutely fine. There's loads of talk coming in about the Wilder Fury fight, and I'm going to give Seany a run at that in a couple of minutes. Let me see. Loads of predictions coming in as well. But lads, Keith, I'll come to you first. I want you to pick me a team, and I want you to give me a prediction, and I want you to give me a goal scorer as well. So I'm throwing it all at you tonight, Keith.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I mean, I think
only because you've upset me about the air fryer for near on a week now.
Have you not got one yet? No,
I haven't. No, I'm not getting one because if it doesn't make cakes, it can fuck off.
Fucking does make cakes.
It isn't as Go on.
The back five, I think, will pick itself. I can't see there being any changes there, you know what I mean? So the front three, I think, will pick itself. I think Mane will start, and then we're looking at the midfield. So I think Fabinho and Gini will. Well, I think no. I'll take it back. I think Fabinho will play. I think KEITA will play, and then I think we might see one of the toss a coin for the other ones. It could be Milner might get a run. I think it could be Ox. So you might look at maybe Gini getting a rest in this one. I think we beat them 4-0.
Okay. And
I think one scorer, Bobby. Break his Anfield duck.
Okay. There was a girl on here last week, I think her name was Ella, and she said that she wants Bobby to break his duck with the goal that secures the title at Anfield.
Yeah,
and I'm all
take
for
that back. I don't want Bobby to score.
Yes. Stop being a prick, Keith.
Go for Virgil to get one.
Nice one. I'd say the odds on that would be decent. Seany, team same as Keith. Are you gonna upset us and go something different?
No, I'd go with that. Gav, to be honest, they could fucking put the 23s out here now, and I'd fancy him to beat anyone at the moment. Just the way things are going. Okay. I'm still waiting on Salah to go on the tier and take the golden boot. Yeah. He's won it every year since he's been here, so I fully expect Salah to just still go on the tier. So Salah for a brace.
Okay, no worries. I think the back five does obviously pick itself, and the front three will pick itself. I think in midfield, I'm leaning towards Fabinho, Milner, KEITA. And the only reason being, I think the toughest game out of the next three we have will be Watford away. Yeah. And I think having minutes in Milner's legs will definitely help that. I think we have enough about us to control this game tomorrow, and Milner doing that job on the right, just letting Trent and Salah do what they want, to be absolutely fine. Gini stepping out, no problem at all. He comes back against Watford in a game where we will be looking, it will be very, very physical. They'll be more up against us, they'll push us a little bit more, and Gini's perfect for that. Fabinho, that just needs the minutes, in my opinion. He needs to get back in a groove. I know they've had a break, but he needs minutes. It's definitely one of those. There's loads of them. So I'm going to go with them three. I'm going to go with 5-0 Liverpool, and I'm going to go with Joe Gomez to get his first goal of the season. Supercard Kieran says 4-0 and VVD first goal scorer. Lubac is going 2-0. Maverick says 3-0. Dylan on right on Q says Gomez to score his first professional goal. Would it be his first professional goal? Right, okay. Well, I'm dying to see him score, because I think he might be the only player in the squad that hasn't scored yet. Chris Brack
hasn't.
Has Lovren not scored
this season? No.
Right, okay.
Him and Lovren.
We'll get him back. He still has a niggle.
Lovren scored in the league. He got one against Napoli, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm thinking in the league.
Yeah. I think they're the only ones that haven't. Alisson, Gomez, and the fact we're throwing Alisson into this, that could be a
yeah. Well, if we get a pen with 10 minutes to go away to Newcastle, I want Alisson on it. Chris Brack says Liverpool to score at least 3, all front 3 We'll have a shot on target and VVT to score any time. That sounds like a bet he wants to do. I will get, over the weekend. We'll definitely get all the bets together as we always do. Megan McCallion wants Ox to score any time and 3-0 to win for the Reds. There's loads of stuff coming in here. But lads, I'm going to go really quick through the fixtures at the weekend because people always ask us to do this, right? So I'm going to go through the fixtures. I just want win, draw, or pick a team to win or a draw. All right. Let me see. Maverick is laughing at 5-0. Maverick, stop laughing at me. But I'll take 1-0. But I think we're going to bash them. So let's wait and see. Yeah. Right.
Without sounding disrespectful, West Ham are shite, like they're muck.
Oh no,
we will bounce off them. You know what I mean?
I just don't think they have the legs to run around that for us at Anfield, and I don't think they have they're defensively good enough, and they're not good attacking wise. And when you go back into a shell like that, it's very, very hard to get out of it. You've seen us away to them. We just dominated them from start to finish, and it was 2-0.
Declan Rice will need a blade defibrillator after this game for doing all his running and for Mark Noble's running.
Declan Rice isn't a central midfielder in my opinion, so that's for another day. But Keith and Sean, you're right. Just going to go through it quick, right? Keith first, Chelsea versus Tottenham.
Where's that on?
Chelsea versus Tottenham.
Right, so Chelsea at home, obviously. Draw.
Shawnee.
Spurs.
Okay. Burnley, Bournemouth.
Burnley.
Shawnee.
Burnley.
Okay. Palace, Newcastle.
Draw.
Okay. Sheffield United versus Brighton, Keith.
Sheffield United.
Shawnee.
Yeah, Sheffield United.
Okay. Big one. Southampton versus Aston Villa.
Oh, the big one.
That's a cracker.
Yeah. I'm going to go Southampton.
It's an 11 point at that one, I think.
Draw.
Southampton and a draw. And the big one, Leicester versus Man City, Keith.
Ooh, draw.
Shawnee.
We go Leicester.
Oh, I'm going City.
No, City. Champions League's on during the week. City are gonna they'll rest a few boys, I reckon. And Leicester actually need a win because they're struggling
a little bit off a bit there, isn't
Yes, so they need something. That'll be 5:30 on a Saturday. The King Power will be rocking. I have to say.
Oh, they'll have their big hand clappers out for like to be.
Yeah. And I just have a feeling City might have to leave Laporte out, and I'd fancy Vardy to make shite of that back four without Laporte in there.
Well, the funny thing was, it's a fair point, and I know we said we go through these quick, but when you watch it at the Etihad, City have all of it, and Vardy gets away 3 times down the channels. Scores one, should score a second, and probably should score a third.
City let you in, and to be fair, on a bad day, Vardy takes chances even. So I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I think it's going to be a good game. To be honest, isn't it great just to be able to sit back and watch City
watch the ball
and not give a shit about it?
Yeah, do your worst, boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dylan says that Man City have sold 875,000 tickets for the game away to Leicester on Saturday evening. Keith, United versus Watford.
United.
Okay, Shawnee.
United, it's in the Old Trafford, isn't it?
Yeah,
United, yeah.
Wolves, Norwich, Keith.
Wolves.
Okay. Shawnee.
Wolves as well.
Okay, and then Arsenal, Everton is the last game on the Sunday.
Draw.
Everton.
I'm going to go with Arsenal because it just means that everyone thinks that Arsenal are back and they're on a deadly run, and he's only won 3 league. He's won 2 league games since he took over. It's deadly.
I watched them the other night. They were cat as well.
Yeah. I just think they're very, very poor. I think they've the wrong players for what he's looking to do. Right, random stuff. Anybody has random questions, absolutely throw them in now. If you're watching on YouTube, you subscribe, you like. Like button is very important, apparently. So I've been told this by analytical fellas. And also hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. And every time we go live, you'll see we're there.
Press all the buttons.
Press all the buttons. Yeah. All the buttons.
Press all the buttons.
That's not something you say to Donald Trump. He's not allowed near any buttons. But at home, press all of the buttons. You can't go wrong. Just to let you know, we will be going through it over the weekend with regards to the bets. We'll sort out the Paddy Power free bet and all that sort of stuff. Just to let you know, we had about, I think it was nearly 100 quid, I think it was, that we'd won because we're awful at betting. But we'd 100 quid. I contacted the fan supporting food banks who are based in Liverpool. You'd see them outside Anfield and outside Goodison Park. I asked them could I donate some money to them. They said, we don't take direct donations, but you can, bring food food or order food. So I went online to Asda and I ordered loads of stuff. And what I done was I've organised that from all you people that listen and give us the bets, and I've organised that to be delivered to the food banks on Monday morning in Liverpool. There's loads of gear there for them. So thanks to you for doing the bets and raising that money. So the first lot of money we raised has gone to the food banks in Liverpool that you will see outside Anfield, and you do see outside Goodison Park on match days. Right, on to the random stuff. So the first thing I have to go with random is this boxing match that's happening tomorrow night in Vegas, and it's Fury versus Wilder. Seany, you asked a question in the WhatsApp group the other day, and you said, "What do you think, lads? Fury wins. What way are you leaning at the moment?"
It's depending on my humour at the moment, Gav. To be honest, I'm watching the build up all week really, and I'm thinking like, I love Fury. I think Fury's he's probably the most naturally gifted heavyweight boxer we've had for decades. Yeah. Definitely this generation anyway. But he has to be perfect again tomorrow night. He just has to be perfect because like the equaliser is that like Wilder, let's be honest, like the fundamentals doesn't really have them down. But if the fella touches you, you're in bother. He's that good. He only really has to hit you clean once.
But as Andy said to me, he caught Fury, and Fury sat up like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's in the 12th round.
But that could be in his head. That could be in Wilder's head as well. You know what I mean? That usually when he connects, he sparks them out, and he couldn't spark him out. I agree with what Seany said there. I think Fury is the best technical heavyweight since Tyson. I think he's been absolutely brilliant, but he couldn't knock out. He doesn't have the knockout power, so I can't see if Wilder doesn't knock Fury out. I don't think Fury will be knocking Wilder. It could be a long one.
I don't know. I was listening to Fury's outfit earlier, and he made a great point. Now, look, you're getting it from his dad, so it's obviously going to be a boy's opinion, but it's hard to shoot down what he said. He said if you have big power and you hit somebody in the 12th round, they shouldn't get back up. They should be. Yeah. He said basically the way he put it was that Tyson Fury's body was like wet tissue paper the last time that he fought. He said he's more solid now. I think he's gone up in weight. He's had a couple of tune-ups. I'm gonna put my neck out. I think Fury will stop Wilder in the later rounds tomorrow night.
Do you think so? Kev O'Sullivan says he can't see how Fury wins. New trainer, new coaches, looks heavier. Wilder will have learned. He reckons a knockout for Wilder between the 6th and the 8th.
Wilder doesn't have the skill, the clout. He doesn't have the skill to close him down or adjust. Yeah. I don't think.
Maverick says, "What about the Fury eye cut? Could that be targeted?" Says Maverick. Seany.
Yeah, if he had a jab, he could, but
he doesn't. He's looking for the haymakers all the time. He's looking for that explosive punch in every fucking round.
Could Wilder see this as a? It's probably a shot. He shouldn't be walking in there as champion. Let's be honest about it. I know. Like when you watch the last fight, okay, he puts him down late in the. But he got skilled in that first fight, Seany. With technical boxing, he got skilled. The only thing that worries me is that. Yeah, Fury will wear you down and technically brilliant, but does he have the power to knock him out? Maybe he does. He just doesn't show it that often. When it comes to Wilder, he didn't show it that often. He just looked like, he's hitting him and he's skilling him, but Wilder does have that haymaker that will just take you off your feet.
The thing is, like, there's knocking someone out, there's putting someone to sleep, and then there's stopping somebody. And Fury is the type, like, Fury can string together combos like no other, punches in bunches. I've never seen, like, I've watched Wilder now closely since he came on the scene as knocking people out. I've never seen him fighting off the back foot. He was getting, like, the last Ortiz fight, he was getting boxed up. Let's be honest. I think if he put him away, Ortiz is out on his feet. Yeah, man, Ortiz is 40 odd. And it's something that people are looking over is, like, Wilder's 35.
You think he's a young fella, don't you?
Yeah.
But he's not.
Fury's a thoroughbred. Like, Fury's, he is gifted. I fancy Fury tomorrow night, actually.
All right. Dylan says Bellator tomorrow evening, then Fury fight. He just says happy days. He's happy with that. Kev O'Sullivan says if you watch the BT analysis of Wilder, if you actually think he's not that technical, this will change your mind. If you want to go and watch the BT coverage on Deontay Wilder.
No, I seen it, but I seen Ben Davidson was on, and he's the trainer who's at the walking out.
He sounds like a rugby player.
Yeah.
He's a great coach though, but he made a great analogy as to what Fury did in the first fight, and what he said was, if you take the bullets out of a gun, you can't get shot. So Fury effectively took the right hand away from Wilder for, I'd say, 11 rounds in the last fight, and he limbered up in the last round because he obviously thought he was home and housed. Like, he should have, like, I can't understand how it was a draw. Like, he lost at least 10 rounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a fucking joke.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't be walking in there as champion, or you know, he simply shouldn't be. Maverick says either way, there's a signed rematch clause. Is that right?
Yeah, for the third fight. Yeah,
they will do a third one.
Yeah,
there's no other heavyweights out there. Joshua's being afraid of his bollocks to fight either of these two. And anyway, so there's only, you know, they're going into this as both undefeated. You know what I mean? So if either of them lose, it will be straight back for another fight.
And do you think the winner does go looking for Joshua, or does Joshua go looking for them?
No, I don't buy that Joshua's afraid, to be honest. I really don't.
I think Eddie Hearn's afraid to put him in.
Yeah, exactly. I
think Eddie Hearn's afraid to, now maybe not so much since he got beaten by Ruiz, but
Eddie Hearn can flog Joshua in Wembley Stadium for another 2 or 3 years before he has to fight them boys and make hundreds and hundreds of millions. At the end of the day, they're seen as businesses, them boys, them fighters, you know what I mean? Fury made the jump and he went to America to fight for ESPN, and they're all under different umbrellas, you know what I mean? So it's in fairness to the two boys, they've gone on and they've made it so that the best fights have happened. But with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, it's just about the dollar. Like, you see him putting them fucking easy YouTubers on fight cards ahead of world champion boxers and all. It's all about cash, you know what I mean?
Soul destroying stuff, wouldn't it be on the undercard of that show?
Yeah, it's all about cash is king, and they're protecting their investment, you know what I mean? I think
Kevin Sullivan says Joshua won't be allowed near either of these two.
Eddie Hearn knows what happens if Joshua fights either of them. Not because he's a bad fighter. He just, Fury
their
and Wilder,
will open him up.
They're horrible matchups for Joshua.
All right.
Yeah, both of them, different styles, and both of them are horrendous for Joshua. But as you pointed out there, Seany, they're both getting old as well. Do you know what I mean? So if they can sort of tie themselves up with each other for a couple of years, Hearn will put Joshua in with them when Wilder's 37 and Fury's whatever age Fury is as well. You know, like, so he's sitting back and let them go at it, and Joshua will fight some bums for a couple of years.
Pick up the scraps.
Right, Seany's going for Fury to stop Wilder. Keith, what are you going for?
I'm going for Fury as well, but I was going for points, and I think you'd have to really blade and skill him to win it on points over there. But I just think he will. I think he's a much better boxer. I think he'll outbox him all the way, and I think, as Seany touched on, he'll take that right hand away from him again, and he just won't be able to do it. I think he'll win on points.
Okay, I'm looking at it, and I do think Fury skilled him the last time, but as Seany said, he dropped his guard towards the end, and he nearly got punished. I hope Fury wins it. I'm not going to. It's very hard to choose, but I really hope he does, because I think it was a massive injustice that he didn't win it the first time around. But if we're looking at a third fight, does it really matter? Probably not. It just depends who walks in as the holder of the belt come the third one. And with regards to Joshua, he's going to have to come up against one of these two at some stage, and possibly both of them throughout his career. So I would love to see Joshua against both of them for different reasons. I think the power of both of them, Joshua and Wilder, is amazing, but the technical ability of Fury against Joshua, I think he could pull Joshua apart. Dylan says, how long without food before you became a cannibal, and what body part would you eat first? Seany, I'll come to you.
Go again. Say that again, Gav.
How long without food before you become a cannibal, and what body part would you eat first?
Of myself?
Well, I don't know. You can't eat yourself. You fucking kill yourself.
Yeah,
well, fucking hell, that's a
so
mad
imagine you're in the film Alive, yeah? The plane goes down.
3 days.
I'd say I'd make it 4 or 5 days. Keith, if I ever get stuck with you, we'll keep you well away from you hungry. You're savage. Chris
just messaged there and said an hour and a half, so you know.
Your nails are full of protein. You'll be eating them before you start eating anyone else.
Yeah, nah. 3 days within a couple of hours, you're looking and saying, right, who am I taking here? Who's got the most meat on them? Bang.
The body part that I eat is simple for me.
Right.
I'd go with the calves because they like chicken wings.
Right.
They like the big drumstick chicken wings, and I reckon it wouldn't be tender enough meat there. You know what I mean? The legs are always going.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Do you not? I know this is a bit disgusting, but do you not go for the arse? The meaty, the cheeks of the arse. Is that what they done in the live? Did they go for the arse first and that?
No, if you're going for innuendos now, I've no problem eating. No problem eating a bit of arse.
I wasn't trying to stay you that way, Shawnee. But
he doesn't need steering, brother.
Oh, stop.
He doesn't need steering. Leave it at that. But what was your other question? Would you rather have your girlfriend's hair or she had your hair?
Jesus, I've no hair, so I'll take her hair. So it's a no-runner. Bleeding 2 baldies. No.
Shawnee, I can't see you changing your hair for nobody.
I know. I was actually thinking about letting the hair grow. I don't think there's too much maintenance in a mane like that, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine my board look great now with my barnet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love is love, isn't it? It's only a bit of she can have my barnet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't hack it now. When my hair grows a little bit long, I'm like, oh, lads, I can't deal with this. You know what I mean? I have to go and get a cut. So, no, I'm sticking to my own. She can keep hers. If anybody has any
more... So she gets yours then, does she?
Well, if I
so the 2 of you have yours? Is that not it? You both have your hair or you both have her hair?
Oh, yeah, that might be it. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, if she wants to keep her hair, I'll take her hair, but I'd end up cutting it. I'd end up fucking shaving my head. I really would.
Yeah.
If anyone has any more random questions before we go, we've about 5 minutes left. So if you have any more random questions, absolutely throw them in there. I just want to get back to football for a minute. And Shawnee, the whole Man City thing, I know you're keeping a close eye on it, but it's getting more and more strange for me as days go on. There's talk of PSG and FIFA, and is there just a series of people throwing other people under moving buses at this stage?
We won't know yet. We won't know until that goes into court exactly what's going on. There's a lot of finger pointing there at the end of the day, but it doesn't. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Like if you're a murderer standing up in court, you can't turn around and say, yeah, well, he's a murderer as well. They're not just going to let you off because somebody else is doing it. Now it's obvious UEFA are using Man City as an example here, and fair enough, because let's be honest, they're not the biggest club. They're not going to go after the super clubs. The Champions League was well around. UEFA were in a good position before City went around, and they'd be fine when they fuck off, sort of thing. You know what I mean? I think City have made a cross with their own back here because they basically said, yeah, well, they're taking on a country, so we'll see in court. So they've adopted the defensive mentality from the start, and I think it's been wrong. I think they've been wrong.
There's been very little denial, I find. I think it's more, you know, when I'm looking at someone, and if I said to you, I don't know, you took me fucking smokes, right? And you went, well, I've more money than you, I'll see it in court. Rather than going, I didn't take your smokes. There seems to be more of a flexing of muscles rather than an actual defence going on. Keith, is that just me being very naive about the situation? Because that's what it feels like to me. It's like, you know, like City fans are singing, we'll see it in court. They're making banners and all sorts of. They'd be better off turning up to the fucking ground than making banners. You know,
you're saying there the other night.
54,000.
Yeah, there was at least 15,000 empty seats in the ground. Like, who the fuck did he think that kidding? City have took the piss. They should have paid that fine in November. In November of last year, when all this came around. But now they wanted to be Billy Big Bollocks.
But you see, if they pay the fine, Shawnee, then they have to step into line. If they don't pay the fine and they keep going, they can continue.
This is going to go either way.
Yes,
because I'm telling you now,
if it goes their way, they can start flaunting as much as they want, and that's the way they're looking at it. Because
what's going to happen is
they need to be able to flaunt it.
if you wait for back off or CAS throw this out, then you may as well forget about financial fair play because the summer is going to be fucking mental. Because clubs will be doing whatever that they want. That's what's going to happen. So I think the only reason I'm not going to say optimistic because I should really be impartial. It's nothing really to do with Liverpool. We're a club who've etiquette in that way, whereas Man City are saying they're going to take UEFA to the Human Rights Court. Are they really going to fuck it out in that kind of worms? Are they really in a being owned by sheiks and where in the United Arab Emirates where human rights are the same as animal rights? There's fucking none. So it's just we'll have to see how it goes. The saying is always that money talks, but I have a feeling UEFA have been told here by the conglomerates, the likes of the Premier League and the FA and even FIFA, look, we're all going in on them, so you're not alone in this battle. Because I think the stance that City have taken is we'll just fucking bankrupt you. Whereas I don't think it will. And apparently this isn't going to drag on. Apparently this is going to be nipped in the bud and sorted before they want it done before July. So we don't have actually too long to wait to see how it plays out.
I listened to the Anfield Rap had a podcast on it with basically a football finance expert, and he was saying that you should see a decision from CAS before the end of March.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because and he made a very good point. He said Kevin De Bruyne is on a £1.5 million bonus for City getting into the Champions League. Right? What happens if they finish second? Can Kevin De Bruyne claim his money because he's got them in a position for the Champions League? They have to see what's going on here.
They'll pay it anyway, Gav.
Yeah, I know, but there's all talks of contracts. Could they be null and void? Because if City are found to have done this wrong, it's malpractice, and you could go and say, I want their only contract. Apparently, they will want this done before, and CAS will come in before the end of March with this. So it won't drag out till July or anything like it. You're probably looking at a month from now, you will know what CAS have come out with. So it's not going to be one of those long drawn out things. I just find it a bit mad that the defence isn't we didn't do anything. I still think it's a case of we're going to fight this to death because we need to function. No matter what wealth we have, we need to get away with this to continue what we're doing. Because if anything lands on City now and they're dragged right back into line and there's a microscope on them day in and day out, or week in, week out, month in, month out, or for whatever amount of years, they are going to have to come into line, and the wealth means fuck all. And they don't have the pull.
I have a feeling they got stung that time. I'd imagine City, they bought Rodri, didn't they, in the summer? And I'd imagine that Seany was gone, and I'd imagine that an astronomical fee was agreed with Bayern Munich. I'd say in the region between 100 to 120 million. Now, he done his knee in the Community Shield. I reckon had they sold him, that money would have went a long way as to making this go away. But that didn't happen. I think there was an ace in the hole here that was missing. And basically, UEFA have done some fucking serious digging. Now, I think the reason, the big thing that's going to come down to is actually what's the legal term? The legitimacy of the evidence, because it's come from all the league sources. I know your man got locked up. And it's in the public domain now. So to be honest, I'm not an expert now. I've been reading intensively about what could happen. If I had to hedge me bets, I'd say it's the same fine with a suspended sentence.
Completely suspended sentence.
No, I'd say it'll be a year ban. It'll be a year ban.
I'm going to go forward on that. I think they get away with it completely. I think they don't have any ban.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can get away with it. I think UEFA must have them bang to rights on this. UEFA they go after them, and to know they're going after a state that can tie this up with lawyers and all that, with all the money in the world. I think UEFA know they have a fucking good case here, and they're going to make an example of them. And if they don't, the whole UEFA fucked. I think
if you don't, we better buy Mbappe for stupid money and get the biggest loan out Merrill Lynch in America and just buy Mbappe. The game will go bonkers if the FFP is completely made a shambles of.
Because this all comes down to the sponsorship they've got and inflating the sponsorship and where the sponsorship has come from. And
there's loads to it, Gav. There's
loads.
To how they've been paying their bills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Klopp alluded
the
to
City
in the
group
summer
and stuff like that.
When we didn't spend money, that you have to pay bills. It's just not balancing. They've been hemorrhaging fucking money, and they've been writing off up to 100, anywhere between 150 million to 200 million euros a season since 2016 at least. That's nearly $1 billion.
You see, the thing is, if this was for argument's sake Manchester United, right? You'd say they can take the ban. Now, don't get me wrong. City can take the ban. They can soak up that loss, and they can. It's no problem to them. But the problem is when they're brought into a stricter line. That's where the issue is, because they don't have the reach. Killer. They don't have the reach, right? They don't have the pull. They don't have the history. They don't have the following worldwide. And the biggest reason that anyone people say, oh, well, they are a big club. No. When you set up a group of 8 clubs around the world to try push our money around like a chessboard because your biggest asset isn't big enough, that's when it tells you your club isn't big enough. If this was Manchester United,
they can't sell out that stadium.
I know, but if this was
sell that fucking stadium.
Listen, there was Aston Villa fans in the Etihad the other night for Man City against West Ham because if they bought a ticket for that game, they could go and buy up to 3 tickets for the League Cup final, right? Because City can't sell their tickets and Aston Villa don't have enough for the demand that's there.
I'd imagine now them boys are sick that he just didn't buy Newcastle now.
Yeah,
they could be. They absolutely could be. Like Danny Emery is saying, how can City only have 400 employees, but the club across the road have 900? Half of the Manchester staff are under the New York branch. But this is the way it all goes. But the biggest thing for that whole group thing is that when your asset isn't big enough, the massive asset isn't big enough to be a pull worldwide, you go and buy other bits around it. As I said, you paint a picture. But the problem with that picture is when it gets wet, it's going to run. It's, you know what I mean? That's just the analogy I look at all the time with it. And if you look at Manchester United, for argument's sake, United could take this 2-year ban. They could take the 30 million quid fine. Yes, they would lose out on, I think the monies is around 150 million a year on TV money and everything that comes with the Champions League, right? And they would still come back in 2 years' time and go, still probably the biggest club in the world. We take the most money in. We're the most marketable club in the world. No problem. And yeah, we're 2 years behind, but we'll catch it. Now the problem,
they're not even denying that they done this, though.
This is the big thing.
They're basically saying that we did it, but we don't think that does. Yeah, no, not even that. Prove it. Like, we did it, but so what? Like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Like,
how else are we supposed to break in if we don't do it?
I hate the shite that Neville and all is pushing like that. Oh, you should be. Obviously, he's saying, "Oh, you should be able to grow a club organically using your finance and investments." Yeah, well, it just so happens that fucker is trying to bring a club from League 2 into the Championship, into the Premier League, because he knows he has invested interest down the line. Like this rule doesn't just apply to City.
No.
City are the ones fucking breaking it. If we do the same, it'd be the same. If Liverpool go out and fucking spend 6 to 7 more times the revenue every year, we're going to get fucking punished. It doesn't matter how big you are. It's nothing got to do with City being a small club. They're fucking breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Organically grow your assets. Why don't you? What did he do with Sancho? Did you let him go for 500 grand? He's a €100 million footballer.
Yeah.
You like this? They're not even reap what you fucking sow.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. They can't even be bothered doing that because
they're so blatant about it as well.
They'd rather spend 60 million on Mahrez than give Sancho a chance. And this is just, it's all a knock-on effect because what's happening on the pitch now, it hasn't even started yet. Like, and they're all saying it's all rosy in-house. Everyone's going to stay. My bollocks, because when
they're all gone.
Players went 27 or 28 saying, well, I'm not going to play in Champions League for 2 years.
No, but it's not even that. It's not even that. That's not the big thing about it, right? The big thing about it is that, for argument's sake, and this was a major point when I was listening to this podcast the other day, if City are proven to be doing this, okay, not only for the club it's massive, but Raheem Sterling can walk in, right? Let's put it this way. Raheem Sterling can walk in at some stage to whoever's in charge of contracts at Manchester City and say, you acted in malpractice, right? Okay? You acted in a bad way. I want out my contract and I'm going to bring you to court to get out of it. And he will get out of it. The same way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on, he will, Shawnee, because if Raheem Sterling goes out tomorrow, right, and, I don't know, punches the head off a fella outside the Etihad, right? And leaves him in a coma, just for argument's sake, right?
Yeah.
City can
Don't
sack him.
use Sterling because you'll have fucking people.
Right. Any player,
say Bernardo Silva.
Anyone, any of them, right?
But you'll be in the Daily Mail tomorrow.
Any employer of any Premier League football team, right, can go out and assault somebody, put them in a coma, knock them down with their car. I don't know.
For instance, John Flanagan.
Act recklessly. Yeah, anyone, right? Okay. They can be sacked because they've acted in a reckless manner, you know, and they can be sacked. Raheem Sterling or any of those players can walk in and say, you acted like this, you know, blah, blah, blah. The contract I'm signed to, okay, you're paying me, but you've acted in this way. And this is what the guy was trying to explain the other day. They have a case to walk away. Now, people will say, 2 years out of the Champions League. It's fuck all to do with that. What it is an agent, any worth of salt to come in and go, listen, you are going to be out of the Champions League, but the second thing is, we're not going to get you sold here. You're actually going to walk out with this contract because I'm going to walk you, or I'm going to fly you to Real Madrid tomorrow, and they're going to give you 60 million to sign for them instead of giving it to Man City. And you're going to give me half, and I'm going to take 30, and you're going to take 30. And on top of that, they're going to give you the money you're at City, and everyone's fucking rosy. And that's where the biggest problem with players will come from. Not from, you know, will they stay for 2 years? How loyal are they? There'll be a rake of agents walking in there going, we're getting you out of this. And see the money City get for a transfer, we're going to take.
On top of that as well, Gav, if they do get hit, they're going to have to still balance the books. They're not going to be able to maintain the wage packets that they have now without Champions League football, that income. No matter how much money that they have themselves, it's not soluble in the club.
No.
So, like, it's being played down a little bit, I think, the damage that this could do to City.
It's being played down because of how rich they are, but people don't realise their wealth is going to be restricted to a point where it won't actually fucking matter.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't want. That's what they're looking to avoid, you know.
Yes.
As you say, they don't want this eye on them, and everything they spend is under a microscope.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, as we discussed before, 11 million of fucking plants around the stadium and all. You know what I mean?
Is it like one of yours might know? Is it like this when you challenge for a card for a decision to be rescinded on a card, whereas you normally get a 3-game ban? If you appeal and your appeal fails, they get an extended ban. Will that happen, or will it just be?
No, they're allowed to appeal it to CAS. What'll happen is they go to CAS. CAS will look at it and then make a decision, and usually that's the end of it. Now they could go on. I don't know where they're going to go after that, but usually CAS is basically a body that says sort it out yourselves, and if you don't sort it, come to us and we'll have a look at it. That's basically what it is. It's like, you know, the High Court and the Supreme Court. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, but I've read that CAS have actually freed every single club up. Galatasaray, PSG. No club has ever actually lost after going to CAS. Only Chelsea. And well, they got a depleted ban as well.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I'd like to hold hope in the authorities stamping down, but I just don't. I think they can be bought.
But you see, the thing is, Seany, City are holding out on this because it's come out of their Spiegel and stuff like that, right? And it came out through leaked emails, and they're basically saying that it's not admissible in court, right? And they're just a bit pissed off because they got caught, because some of the emails are quite damning. The language in them, they're talking about
some of it's
dying.
I seen it 1 down, 2 to go, and stuff like that.
But the problem here is the money doesn't fucking matter, right? And they can easily take a hit on the Champions League for 2 years as a club, right? As an owner, they can. But the problem is, the scope they have to what they're doing is going to be significantly reduced regardless of what CAS says, right?
Yeah.
Because what will happen is, if they walk out of CAS in a month's time with a 30 million quid fine, something has stuck, right? And once anything sticks, then you have got the Premier League and the FA that are going to have a look for you, right? And the second thing is, the person that has given you that fine is now going to go, you see, I want all eyes on them at all 24 hours a fucking day, and all these sponsorship deals that are coming in from a company that fella owns anyway, we're going to be all over it. It's basically, they're basically going to be doing this, what do they call it? You know, when a fella comes in to own a club, they do a suitable fitness, certain standard they have to be to buy a club. They're going to do that on them every fucking day of the week, that's where they're going to get struggling.
It's hard to find any it's hard to find any balanced information really regarding, because it's wherever you look, there's the City boys and then there's the boys against them. So it's hard to actually know exactly what's going to happen now. What can the Premier League do, because they haven't got any financial guidelines?
Well, no, the FA would be the ones that would look at that. So the FA would look at it and they could throw them down leagues. That's what
they won't.
They could. That's the power they have, surely.
Yeah, they can put them down to the league too.
No, you're asking what they could do. That's what they could do. That's I'm trying to tell you the power that these people have. That it'd be like me saying I'm responsible.
Who sponsors the FA Cup?
I don't know at this stage.
Who the fuck is that? The Emirates.
Fly Emirates.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying,
boys, there's fucking there's a circle jerk going on there.
Listen, I
know there is. I'd have no confidence in the English authorities doing that to Man City.
Yeah,
not a fucking chance.
If something sticks in this, they will probably have to. All right.
Yeah, now, the Premier League have to act.
Well, the FA would be something along the lines of where they could put them down leagues. They could say, no, you have done this, right? The Premier League, although they don't run financial fair play, they would be able to come along and go, well, hold on, as a member of the Premier League, you've acted in a reckless manner or whatever, financially or whatever, and for that reason, you have gained an advantage in this organisation, and we're not happy about it. It's way too messy to go back 4 and 5 years and start taking points off them, because then other clubs come along and go, well, we could have been fourth. That's a no-no. That's not going to happen.
No way.
There won't be titles handed over or anything like it. What could happen, though, is they could just turn around and go, listen, you've been caught on A, B, and C, and for every one of them, we're deducting you 10 points. You start on minus 30 next season. That's what will happen.
I just think that'll probably be the most extreme case.
Oh, yeah, it will. It all depends on what sticks, if anything sticks at all. Do you know what I mean?
It's one of them. You're just gonna like. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say I hate City. I think that fucking hate. Like, I had the cunts throwing points of piss at me in the Etihad when they beat us 5-1 that day. So can't say I dare to their fans really, but I don't really give a fuck about them. They're not they're a rival in the instancy. When you look back, it's always going to be United. When the fixtures come out, you look at United who are playing. These are irrelevant. Hopefully they're sent back to where they should be. You know what I mean? Like, before the money, they were in fucking League 2. The main road was at least full, you know what I mean? But there's nothing to like about them now. And
it's a proper franchise.
This will only sicken the fucking dickheads who are jumping around and sitting around when Company got the winner last year and the stuff like that. Like, these are this is the horse you are backing in the race last year. Like, how fucking stupid do you feel now?
Well, do you see the big worry I would have if I was a City fan, and I'll say it again, is that if I'm looking at this and going, even if we get away with this, right, on the basis that the emails were leaked and it might be inadmissible in court, what we're doing now, we can't continue to do. And that's what will be my biggest issue as a City fan. Even if you get away with it, the stuff we were doing, we cannot continue to do, because, listen, they'll just watch us like a fucking hawk, and all the wealth we have, it'll actually mean nothing. And that'd be my biggest worry if I was a City fan, that all the stuff you're throwing, like, put it this way, City, you're looking at it going, they've had money since 2008. I think it was Shinawatra was in charge, wasn't he? 2008. So you're going 12 years. They've won, 4 league titles in them 12 years. They've won a couple of FA Cups, a couple of League Cups. They haven't conquered Europe. And now they're looking going, we're in the shit here. And there's teams getting closer to us and bypassing us when we should be over the hill and far away with that amount of investment over the last, especially probably 6 or 7 years, I'd say.
The other thing is as well is that since the day they took over, Pep was the end game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, Pep, the whole aim was to get him in there eventually and conquer Europe. But
if he comes in, he was the end game. He's the sort, when you get Pep, you put the game back in the box and you bring it down, you trade it in for another one, because you've
exactly so they probably start fucking looking at buying a Formula 1 team then after that, you know what I mean? Like a new toy to play with. So it's I think it's massive. It's massive for the future of that club what comes out here. Even if they were to get off for it and Pep did fuck off, they'd probably look to get rid of that, rid the hands of that. Like Abramovich, he won everything. You know what I mean? He's not even allowed in the country anymore.
Yeah.
And at the very least, Chelsea are sustainable now. They run on themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just thank fuck you're not one of them shite bags Manchester at the moment. Whether it's fucking Solskjaer at the wheel or the fucking gangsters at the wheel, it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays. And the best thing is we're not gonna be waiting years. Should be done and dusted before we've even won the fucking league.
Yeah, no, that they're saying this guy on the Anfield Rap the other day was saying that it looks like it will be done before the end of March. The decision from Cass, so we'll have to wait and see.
I don't believe it. I don't believe Pep for a second saying that he's willing to go to League Two.
Yeah, me bollocks is he? Not a chance. No way.
Go on, Keith.
And not only that, I think the impact that this will have on them, like you see Sterling, he's already flashing his bleeding arse at Real Madrid. There's not a chance that they're going to stick around there. But who are they going to bring in? Do you know what I mean? If Pep is gone, what manager is going to go in there? Do you know what players are they going to attract there? So they are in trouble, but fuck them, because they brought it all on themselves. You know, they're constantly. And the arrogance, when you read up the stuff, as you were saying, the emails and all that came out about 1 down, 5 to go or whatever, like the arrogance of them, not a lot of people have read up on that stuff, you know what I mean? They just assume, City were fiddling and fiddling. If people read up on what was going on, it's fucking madness, you know what I mean? The arrogance and the whole, we'll take this, we'll have an army of lawyers and we'll take this through the courts. So I think they're in the shits.
Well, there's just the last few comments on it. Chris Brack says, if you're innocent, why do you need to find a loophole to overturn a decision? Avo says they've already walked away from several different sporting ventures already. And Emma Kavanagh says, Pep very clever when saying he's staying. Quote, they said they did no wrong, so I stay. Yeah, okay, well there you go.
But the talk out with City seemed to have been that they softened that cough a bit during the week as well. Yeah, man, the CEO, they were talking about maybe doing a deal, you know what I mean? So even now they're looking to say, well, originally it was, well, fucking drag you through the court and all, and now it's stepping back a bit from that. So I think the most likely outcome will be the fine, which means fuck all, and then the reduced ban. But I think there will be a ban. If there's no ban,
thing is as well, gone. If it does go through the appeal, like everything now is going to be put out into the public domain now.
Yeah.
Regarding the numbers, so like, what's to say it can't get worse?
Yeah.
Oh no, listen, it could get worse, but the big thing is, if anything sticks, I don't even think. Do you know what? I'm gonna say I don't think this decision from Cass makes any difference to where City will be. What I mean by that is, I think they're in a bad way regardless, because the eye that'll be on them, and the restrictions that are going to be put on them regardless of the outcome. So it's one of those. We spent an awful lot of time talking about that, but I really enjoyed it because
but the other thing is, Gavin, I'll just finish on this.
Yeah, go on.
Can I just finish on this?
Hey, I thought you were going to sing a song. Go on.
Years gone by, people, select group of fans have targeted our owners. Questioned ambition.
Yeah.
Questioned genuity, questioned everything, and they were fucking crying for a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
And look at this shit. The wankers across the road are now better than Hicks and Gillette. Do you think they had his City's best interest at heart? They knew this was coming down the line, and we're moving into a brand new training ground complex with the greatest team in the world at the moment, assembled by these group of owners, assembled by the best manager in the game, who was hired by those group of owners. Yeah, they never lied to us once, FSG, and still people were clamouring for a sugar daddy. So fucking just another prime example of the grass always not being greener on the other side.
And they championed FFP as well from the beginning, so they've always tried to walk within financial fair play restrictions, you know, and people might have thought, that's no ambition, no, it's a load of shit, you know what I mean? They walked and they bought in players and they built them up.
It's being banged with. They run sports cap ventures in America where salary cap is fucking no joke. You look across the Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, like, if you fuck around, you get hit. Simple as that. We can say we waited in the long grass. Like, Yeah, in the other hand, I can understand United, the owners are taking billions out of the club, but look again, what's the point of having fucking what will it all be worth to Man City in the end if they do get hit hard?
I think it only ends badly.
Yeah, but like, what will it mean in the end? Yeah, I remember fucking Aguero's last minute goal and that, but it'll just be memory in the end. This was never sustainable. They said the transfers going up to 100 million, 200 million had to stop. That bubble sort of burst last year. And the Barcelona now are in big trouble with money as well. Yeah. Their board is a mess. You have Florentino Perez in Spain who comes out and says nothing about anybody else, only looks out for himself. And the board at Barcelona is a mess now. And everyone wanted a fan-owned club like Barcelona. Like, you just need to think sometimes that fucking the people at the top know best. And I'm just I hope UEFA throw the book at City, and then I hope they fucked about the book at PSG as well, because they're just as bad.
They're just as bad.
Well, you see, the thing is, like, and this is probably for another show, and we probably will do a show on it, because you lads seem to know an awful lot about this and speak extremely well on it. But if this does go against City, it's only the start for me. I think it is. Kieran says owners never overpromised. Absolutely built the club ready for decades, if not at least a century, to be self-sustainable. That's obviously on Liverpool. Kev O'Sullivan says City's biggest player sale was 30 million. They're as guilty as sin. 2 questions before we finish, lads. Toasted sandwich. What are you putting on it, Keith?
Cheese and onion.
Okay, John.
Simple.
Crisps, toasted the toasted sandwich just be cheese and ham and cheese. Toasty.
Okay, no worries.
Ham and cheese.
And pizza the next morning, do you eat it cold or do you heat it up in the microwave, Keith?
Cold.
Cold, Seany?
Cold, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like finding the money in your pocket. There's a pizza there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you what to do. Here's a little life hack for you, for anybody who's listening.
And this is nailed on experience from the shoulders. Go on.
If you're on the way home from a night out and you get back to the gaff and you order a Domino's, right? Buy 2 cans of Coke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Put one in the fridge.
Yeah.
Drink the one you have there now. Get up in the morning, and I'm telling you now, there's nothing in the world that beat a red ambulance. And a red ambulance is a fucking freezing cold can of Coke out of the fridge.
Yeah, like it.
With your cold pizza in the morning. And I'm telling you, be right as rain before you know it.
Now, there you go. And this is all. And this, my friends, is still a free service. How it is, I don't know. Lads, that has been the Fatback 4 Daily for Friday night. We have absolutely taken the piss by going 1 hour and 19 minutes. But listen, that's when Shoulders and Keith say they want to go 1 hour and 19 minutes. Who am I to stop them? Seany, thanks a million for joining me again.
No problem at all, Gav. Anytime, mate.
Good stuff. Keith, thanks a million for joining us.
No worries. Pleasure as always, Gav.
Good stuff. Everyone enjoyed the football over the weekend. The Reds are going to absolutely upend West Ham on Monday night. 5-0. Get on it. And get on Joe Gomez to score as well. That's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Over and out.